There's absolutely no way Charles Xavier is back. Like, I'm in the party of 50-50 where I'm like, this guy needs to kick rocks for good. And for the first time, I think I could ever say this, is that I agree with Scott right here. I'm not a big Scott fan, you guys know that, but like, I actually agree with him. Charles actually kills the dream of mutants being free in this world. This is X-Men issue 9. I was enjoying the X-Men run at first. It's kind of fallen off a little bit just because I don't know where they're going now at this point. But I hope it turns out. I still would be reading this book though. When the X-Men were fighting the Sentinel dogs on top of, you know, the front of the mansion, down in the prison, in the sub-basement, we see Nightcrawler and Psylocke actually meet up to figure out where inmate X is at, which is Charles. In the control center of this prison, Karina Ellis and her gang basically are figuring out, like, how can we take down the X-Men here? On the ground level, both X-Men are fighting the, you know, the robot Sentinels. Juggernaut, take Blob. Wolverine, get Wild Child under control. You got it, boss. On it. It's really weird with these conversations. They almost like they've never like interacted with each other or like know each other that much. These are rumors, and I've sworn these characters have interacted with each other. Logan stabs Wild Child in the gut, and I'm like, that fucker is dead. And then Juggernaut headbutts Blob. Magic, give Kane a hand. Magic takes the last Sentinel dog and slices it in half. I had him. You sure did, Kane. Rogue and Cyclops ask both their rosters like, hey, is everybody good? No bruises? All right, looks like we're fine. What's hella funny here is something that my boy Millie and I always talk about, what Karina Ellis does to this Philip Scurvy guy. She bitch slaps him. You claim to be a psychic, to be a rival to Charles Xavier. Prove it to me. No statements. So what's awesome in the Sentinel run, we see Omega Red get captured, but it looks like Nightcrawler and Psylocke freedom from his captivity. Psylocke and Nightcrawler, I guess they opened up, you know, the X door for inmate X, which is Charles Xavier. Look, Scott, we're all X-Men. Maybe it started we acting like it. Maybe it is. Maybe we shouldn't be fighting each other when we got a world to fight. Scott tells Rogue, we aren't releasing Charles Xavier. We are free. Don't you see? Xavier always manipulated us for his will, for his dream. And what has gotten us? Refall of X. But now we are free of Xavier's dreams to follow what dreams we want to. What's awesome is that Scott does a callback to, you know, House of X issue 3 and 4. If I remember correctly, this is where, you know, Charles went bad, but it was for to save the mutants, but it still like was a terrible dream and it's all Charles's fault. And Scott's like, I'll never forget his ass. I'm not leaving one of our own in that prison, and I'm not sacrificing the freedom of every mutant on this damn planet. Scott tells Rogue, you're gonna have to get Wolverine to kill my ass because I'm not leaving this position. Please, beautiful people, just relax. None of you are leaving this Grand Manklin prison. And who the hell are you, bub? Someone who really knows what it means to follow the dream of another at any cost, at every cost. Karina Ellis understands what you are, what we are, and I'll sacrifice everything I am for that dream. All this worry about Xavier, and you never stop to think about who could keep the most powerful psychic in the world locked down. He starts mind controlling all their asses. With the last ditch effort, Kane or Juggernaut is like, I'm sorry, psych, gotta go for Hail Mary. And he goes for the inmate X, Charles's prison door, to break it. Thank you, Kane, but the effort is entirely unnecessary. Professor X comes out with Nightcrawler and Psylocke being mind-controlled zombies. Literally, they got to take this man out. And I'm sorry to say this, and I actually agree with Scott in this whole debacle. They got to figure out this ASAP.